It's a lot like 28 Days Later, but, well, actually, it's pretty much just 28 Days Later. Oh, Danny Boyle. Jamie?
Yeah.
Let's go watch Night of the Comet. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Good Times, Great Movies. We are an 80s movie podcast. My name's Doug McCambridge. I'm here, as always, with Jamie Lorello. It's the scariest time of the year.
It is. It's spooktacular.
Are you afraid?
Not of the comet. No.
No?
No.
That's terrifying. It kills everyone. You shouldn't be. If there's one thing you should be afraid of, it's that.
But I really didn't get to see enough of it, I guess. I experienced the fear around the comet, but we never really
Well, I guess the fear of the aftermath.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Nobody's afraid of it.
But even the aftermath, it seems kind of fun. You get to raid them all, and you get to meet the cutest guy left on Earth.
That's all I used to think when I would watch any apocalyptic movies is how are these people just not having a great time?
Yeah.
Because there's nobody else around.
And they're just like taking it all in as their own.
Right. Yeah.
And well, there's the creepy zombies floating around.
Well, after 36 hours, that's not a problem
Yeah,
anymore.
that's
I mean, they don't know that at first.
Yeah.
We're at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening. A website called The Essential Films has reached out to us to contribute.
Contributions.
They're making a list of the top 100 horror films, and of course, we're experts.
Sure.
I'm gonna say.
Sure.
So they asked us to give them a top 10 list.
Oh.
But I actually have a question for you.
Oh.
Because of how specialized our podcast is, should I give them a list of top 10 80s?
80s? Of course you should.
Should I do that?
That's what I was thinking you would do.
All right. Okay. Well, I thought it was more of an all-time.
Yeah, but if we're going...
Since the name of the website is Essential Films, but maybe I can be
them.
specialized.
They're coming to us for what we're experts in. And, I mean, sure, you know more about the whole genre than I, but we collectively are about 80s movies. And believe me, there are plenty of 80s horror movies and that have made quite the impact and that are essential. So I'm sure you could come up with 10. And if you can't, I can pepper some in.
Well, I know that your contribution would be Sleepaway Camp, which
yes.
I will be putting on that list. Don't worry about that. And also, and I know I say this every 3 or 4 episodes, but all the podcasts that I listen to at the end, they're so good about things like, hey, follow us on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. We never say that.
We're just like, bye! That movie was great!
End. And, I mean, I don't think it's that important. I'm not saying that we don't put anything on Twitter, because we do.
We're Twitterers.
You know.
We tweet.
Sure.
Yeah.
So please follow us on Twitter
at
GTGMcast. Follow us on Facebook. Yes.
Yep.
You can find us there. It's easy. And please also leave us a star review and a rating on iTunes.
We love those. They're so fun.
I got one. Here, let me pull it up because I really enjoyed it. It seems so nice and so personal.
Aww.
It says, came across this podcast one day while looking for something to listen to at the gym.
Oh.
While I've slacked with my fitness regimen, that seems very personal, by the way. Thank you for letting us know.
Well, they're admitting the guilt. It's always hard when you keep up at the gym. Yeah.
It says, I've stayed committed and hooked on this podcast. Then there's more stuff written, and it says at the end, their impressions are usually spot on.
Oh, nice! Has he heard your dolly?
Specifically, Jack Palance and Nick Cage, which those are two very random impressions to pull from.
Oh, that's awesome.
I guess he's a big fan of your Nick Cage from Moonstruck, right? Was that what you were doing at the time? That was great.
And it was your Jack Palance.
I even sat here and I was like, Jack Palance, when the hell? And I was like, oh, from Young Guns.
Yes.
So we really do appreciate that. So if you want us to...
That's very sweet.
Yeah,
very
if you want to let us know the intimate details of your life or your workout regimen, please do so, and we'll read it. And that's from somebody named Milk Can Rocks. So good for you, Milk.
Good for you. And you know what? It's wintertime. You don't have to work out in the winter. Just keep listening to the podcast, though.
All right. That's it. We're finished. So give us a star rating, everybody. Please do so. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
We'll give you a minute. Pause the podcast right now. Okay, you're back. Thanks for the star rating. And I'm so glad to hear where you listen to us. Maybe it's in a sensual bubble bath.
Maybe with some oils. Maybe that's where you take a tubby with our podcast, perhaps.
Yeah, love it. All right, so let's get into this movie. Because our movie... The first of two horror movies. We still only get two. The calendar doesn't work out where there's...
It doesn't allow more
three
than...
of our Fridays. Yeah. It's Night of the Comet from 1984. Jamie, you have never seen this?
No, I had not. Mm-mm. Had you?
I had.
Okay. Recently?
No. I remember my mom rented this and... the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh.
One Halloween.
Oh. She wanted to spook you.
That's right. I had a friend over for trick-or-treating. Some people call it Halloweening, but those people are wrong.
It's trick-or-treating.
And this friend shall remain nameless because I don't want him to be saddened by the fact that he comes across as kind of a big wimp in this story.
Oh, no.
Because he was so scared. Like, we would go to houses, and if the house was... spookily decorated with music, and if the person like handing out candy was wearing a mask, which is creepy, by the way.
It can.
You shouldn't do that. Adults who dress up and scare kids are the worst adults.
They love it too, by the way. It's like, although I admire a good decor, a good Halloween decor.
I do too. There's a certain commitment to holidays that I feel is inappropriate when you're a certain age. Now, that's just me.
Yeah.
But the people that go over the top with big inflatable lawn things for Christmas, I don't understand it. I can't relate. It seems very strange to me. Same with the people that put spider webs everywhere.
It's a bit extreme. They're hard to clean up, too. Let me note that.
You mean real spider webs? You just got to wrap those around your finger and throw them in the garbage. But anyway, this friend of mine.
So go ahead.
There were certain houses, like this should have been a trigger warning right here. There were certain houses he wouldn't even go up to. Like we would go up to get candy. He would just wait in the road.
Right.
So we get home after this, and my mom's like, which of these scary movies do you kids want to watch? And we, probably my sister and I, because I assume he was shivering in the corner, chose this one. And I don't know, we weren't 20 minutes in, and then he had to call his parents, and his parents had to come get him. This movie is burned into my mind as being the reason why he left.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
So now, had you remembered it as something intense?
There were a couple. I remembered the general idea of the movie, and I remember the overall look of the movie, just the redness.
Yeah.
And there was at least one scene, and we'll get to it, that I remember really scaring me.
Oh.
Yeah. It didn't now.
I was going to say, did it still kind of give you the shivers? Not at all? Okay.
No. All right. So let's get into it. Jamie, you're taking us through this.
Let's do it.
The other thing that I think will be a lot of fun to talk about, this movie makes reference and has tie-ins to a lot of other movies that we've actually talked about on this podcast. And by a lot, I mean like 3.
3, yeah. Awesome.
That's it.
Well, let's dabble that in there as we go.
That's right.
As we take this night, and it does, I guess, happen, well, it's long. No, it's about the course of a night, I guess. It's Night of the Comet.
Well, that's when everything happens at night.
At that night. But then it's the whole next day. I guess it's a few days by the time. Yeah, because they sleep somewhat, when they run into each other. I mean, it's not 24 hours. It's not.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I think that it says night of the comet, meaning the comet's here for a night.
Right. And that's what we're introduced to in the beginning, is we're kind of a dialogue, a narrative.
A little voiceover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That
about
is a little ridiculous.
It's very silly. It feels very silly. It starts the music when the movie very first starts. There's this intense music, and everything's red and black, and so you go, wow, all right, we are going to be intense.
Yeah. But
then when you get the voiceover narrating, it kind of felt like, oh, this is going to be a silly, fun.
It's
I guess
very
scary, but
goofy,
yeah.
And I don't think we needed the voiceover. Like the voiceover was like, and last time this comet came here was at the end of the dinosaur age. I'm
like, 65 million years ago.
I'm like, now I know what's going to happen. Why did you just ruin the beginning of this movie?
And some people know of this danger, but most people are just having a party for it, right?
They love it. It's like New Year's Eve.
And it is a holiday.
Times
it is
Square.
Christmas time, right? Because you see a lot of holiday decorations or Christmas and decorations and such. So at first I wasn't sure if it was like New Year's Eve as well they were celebrating. But everyone is really just partying for this comet. So not everybody is aware that it is as dangerous as it is.
Did you take note of the song that was playing and the lyrics?
No.
The chorus was, "The whole world is celebrating," and it just plays over as we watch people celebrating.
All right, they play music throughout because the radio station is a big thing, and there's music played through, and it's terrible music, mind you. It's very narrative of what's happening, like even when the girls are getting ready and all. It's bad stuff, bad in a fun way, terrible in a entertaining way.
And they're all nameless songs, except for the Girls Just Want to Have Fun cover, which seemed very out of place in this movie.
That whole scene seemed a little goofy and out of... I mean, I guess
Maybe.
I get it.
That whole scene made sense to me. Like I said, if the planet was barren,
true.
I'd just go on a shopping
You just go shopping and then get attacked. All right, let's get there. Okay. Well, the city is not yet abandoned. Everyone is partying, and there's a movie theater. I guess it's like the town movie theater, right?
Yes.
There is a movie being shown for that night.
I don't know what the movie is.
I don't know what movie it is either. But there's I guess she's an usher. I guess that's what Reggie does at the movie theater, right?
Yeah, Regina.
Regina, right? But
yes.
they call her Reggie, right?
Reggie or Reg? Wait, I don't know. I just watched this today.
Literally.
Oh. I should know this.
I just referred to her. In the head.
I just referred to her as Regina throughout. So it doesn't matter. You can call her Reggie.
Well, we're close, so I call her Reggie, sometimes Reg.
That's okay.
So Reg, even though it seems to be busy at the movie theater, she is very intense with this. Oh, yeah. That's what I don't know what movie they're playing. I don't know if it's all part of the celebration, Comet movies, maybe. I'm not sure. But
on the marquee, it says Comet Midnight Special, but that's not the name of a movie.
No.
I just feel like it's like, hey, there's a comet coming, movies half price. I don't know. But that's
the details weren't given to us why the movie theater is so crowded.
The marquee is only so big.
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
only put so many letters on that.
Reggie is not really working, though. She's playing an video game, right? Which, remember that when in the movie theaters you had like a little area that you could go and play your video games at?
They still have them near me.
Do they?
Yeah. If you go into the movie theater, they still have them.
I guess I haven't been to a movie theater, or at least I guess I haven't looked, maybe, when I've gone to the movie theater. But anyway, she's intense. She wants to be top-notch in this video game, and that's kind of what her jam is, right? Oh, and she wants to beat, it's important to note that she wants to beat these certain initials, right? You know how people put in their scores, top scores?
Yeah.
So there's the initials. I want to say DVK. Those are them.
It is DMK.
DMK.
Yeah.
DMK initials. She wants to beat that.
Which I think is great. Did you figure out what that is?
Yeah, where that goes to in the end. Yeah, that's why I'm pointing it out now. You see?
So great. So great.
Well,
but she is, other than that one name, I guess she has all
it's all
scores.
her. Yeah, she's just Well, because she's in that theater all the time, so obviously. Her boss wants her to get to work, and she wants to go, I guess, make it. They call that making it. With the boy and the projector boy, right?
They call it making it throughout this entire movie. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Like, are you really just going to call sex making it?
And the way they say it, too. Were you guys making it? Why would you think I was making it with him? Well,
I kept looking people up in this movie because her boss, Mel, he looked so familiar. Like, he looks like a blend of, like, Grandpa Munster and Peter Boyle. So I was like, and I don't know. Everybody in this movie works and continue to act and has a lot of credits to their name.
That's surprising.
But none of them are really household names.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
He's angry on the phone, right? Isn't the projectionist, isn't that dude trying to make some kind of deal for film or something? What's his deal?
Yeah. Okay. Because it took me a little while because he's on the phone with somebody talking about an original reel of a certain film. And it was a classic film. I forget what it was. And he's like, what? $100?
You're trying to make some trade, right?
Yeah, you can't do $100. And he's like, 110. Now we're talking. And I'm like, wait a second. That's like a real classic film. And you have a reel of it. You don't sell that for $110. But later on, he talks about how he rents these out to people to like show at their house or personal parties. Because he says something like, you have to bring it back and all that. So, yeah.
Well, this is his little side
So
business,
he is
obviously.
the most shady projectionist ever.
Well, I mean, he has her up there and they make it. And then what's the deal with him giving her money, $13? And she even points out, like...
Yeah, $15. And she's like, that kind of makes me feel cheap.
Yeah.
And at the end, he doesn't even give her the $15.
No, she's like, where's my money? He's like, I got to do this thing with this film. So, yeah, they were introduced to them. And, yeah, he's definitely shady.
I do appreciate the fact that this film goes against the idea that if a character makes it in a horror movie that they have to die. Like, she is our heroine of this film. She is quite promiscuous at the age of 18.
Yeah. But she's strong, but I do kind of like, in its own way, it's very feminine. Like, we've got our female lead. She's kind of strong. She's physically strong, too. Like, she fights off one of those zombies.
Yeah.
Because she's got some moves.
She gives him fair warning that she's going to
she's got the skills necessary to injure him. And they're handy with guns, both her and her sister. And you get the feeling that she's a strong woman, and even though she's a little promiscuous, it's because she's just
right.
She's strong about her,
and she's not embarrassed about it. I love it when the scientists ask her if she's pregnant, and she's like, "No, but I thought I was."
Yeah, exactly.
Then he's like, "Oh, well, that's not a big deal." She's like, "What? That was the scariest 3 weeks of my life."
Yeah, but she takes everything like life, like with a.
She takes it in stride. Yeah. She's not as goofy as her sister. But...
her sister's a knucklehead. So we meet her sister, which I wasn't sure who this chick was at first. Because we just know that Reggie, or Regina, is making a phone call to this blonde girl, who at first you're like, is this a friend? Who is this? Because she's telling her, you got kind of to give her the excuse, like, so she's...
You got to cover for me, yeah.
Reggie's going to spend the night at the movie theater with her little boyfriend. And so she's calling her sister to have her sister cover for her.
Right, yes.
Now, they live with their amazing stepmom.
I wish the stepmom had survived and she was in this movie, because she would be laying out those zombies left and right.
She looks... I don't know who she is, but her look, she looks like an evil cartoon character. Like, when she is on screen, I'm so afraid of her. Like, she looks kind of like an Angry Bird, not Angry Bird, those weird
No, she looks like
things.
A Disney villain.
Yes!
Like, she looks like a wicked stepmother. Like, she could be like a Cruella de Vil or something. What's
the sister's name? Samantha is a blonde little cheerleader popping her gum, and this is funny. Is this one? Yeah, so...
It's when they slap the shit out of each other.
Yeah, the slap fight. Oh my
God. It's so great.
I was like, what? We're like 20 minutes into this movie and we're having this. Regina, the stepmom's having a party, the Comet party, right? So she wants Samantha to sort of be at her beck and call for the party. And Samantha's sort of standing up to her. And Samantha slaps her first, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Samantha slaps her first. And then she slaps her back. And how many times? Like 4 times?
I don't know, because Samantha slaps her mom slaps her back, Samantha slaps her again, and then her mom just cold cocks her just
and makes her bleed. Yeah.
Knocks her down, chips her tooth, we find out.
Doris. I think her name is Doris.
We did gloss over one character, and I don't know if it's my favorite character in the movie, but the very nervous reporter who is reporting live, and he looks nervous to be on camera, and he's stumbling over his words, and he doesn't know how to pronounce Newfoundland. It's like,
yes, that's right.
It's like, this is an LA reporter.
That's right. I just don't think they edited that. They just let the actor do one take, and they were like, I mean, it's a time of crisis. The comet is coming. But is he? I don't know.
He's not worried about the comet. It seems like it's his first day on the job. And this is the story they gave him. The biggest story of the day.
That must suck, his first and last big job.
Yeah.
Now we have the comet comes, right? Everyone goes outside to go look at it. And basically it's these very strange visual effects of thunder.
For a movie that I think, and we can certainly argue about this if you disagree, I think this movie looks very good. Like, it looks better than a movie that was made for, I think it was made for like $800,000.
I agree. But the moment when the comet,
that looks so bad.
Yeah,
it looks terrible.
It's
like a cloudy sky with lightning and weird, wacky alien colors. It looks so phony. It just looks very goofy.
Phony. Yeah, I agree. And it's just not again, if the night of the comet, I wanted to see a little more of the comet, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to experience.
Yeah, you're right. We don't, other than the voiceover, we don't see a comet at all in this movie. Mm-mm.
We just know that it apparently definitely affects the electricity. Obviously, it's a comet.
Right. We do find out on this weird herky-jerky news reporting that where the comet has already passed.
In Newfoundland.
Electrical outages, and they've been unable to sort of report back about the comet or get in touch with those people. Right. But nobody seems worried by that.
No, they're just like, woo, party! It's going to be an awesome sky tonight. And we see the party at Doris's and Samantha's, Regina's stepmom's, whatever. Yeah. They go outside to kind of watch it all, and the next thing we know,
we don't know. No, it's kind of just light flashes, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is way too bright." And then it's the next day in the projection booth, and her boyfriend's all pissed because that guy didn't return the film or whatever. So he leaves. Now, before they make it, he does say something about how the projection booth is lined with lead. I think he says steel, and she's like, "It's lead, you idiot." So they are protected because they were in a lead space.
Yes.
Right? That's what we're meant to believe.
This must be, okay, now I'm remembering. In my notes now, I have these bullet points that say, clown moves, empty pool, bikes on ground, clown moves. And I'm guessing I'm remembering now.
Right.
This is when we see
the aftermath.
Yes.
We see the next day. We see a deserted Los Angeles.
Yes.
And you're talking about the clown that's moving. Not the scary clowns that are murdering people. No,
not the ones that are taking children into the forest. Right.
Right.
No.
It is just like an automated clown. Yes. It must be on a timer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we see that life goes on as usual, except there just aren't people around.
Right, there's no people, right. And it's got everything's got that kind of that red hue around it.
Yeah, the frame is kind of, it fades to red near the top. So the sky always looks kind of red. Yeah. And then down in the bottom third, it looks normal. So, and that's kind of the way it's always shot when it's outside.
Where the party was... Right? Don't we get a shot of where the party was, and we see that it's just dust and clothes?
So everybody that was outside is just dust and clothes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Regina's boyfriend leaves and is immediately murdered by a zombie.
As soon as he opens the door. The zombie was waiting for him with a wrench.
He's basically murdered by like a homeless zombie, right?
I guess, yeah.
Is that how you read that? Okay.
Yeah. But he doesn't. The
only
zombie
we see in this movie.
Not the only one.
Well, the only one to that degree.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't forget about the kid one, too.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I forgot about that kid. All right, that's great. Okay. Yeah, so her boyfriend is murdered with a wrench. The zombie uses a wrench to kill him.
Yes, just clocks him over the head, basically, right?
Yep.
Now, she's oblivious that anything strange, she's oblivious for a little too long. But her oblivion starts when she's just, again, there was a comet last night. There was a lot of excitement and partying on the streets, but it's very quiet. She's eating Twizzlers which I think would be great too, I guess, if you had a movie theater all to yourself to just like eat all the yummy candy and play your little video game. I mean, so she's doing that. And she decides to kind of take a peek outside. She props the door open because she knows that I guess she doesn't have the keys. She's
it's like one of those big, tall metal ashtrays.
Yeah. She props it open and she goes outside. And again, there's just clothes laying around where there were people. Note that she first picks up some underwear off the floor.
Uh-huh.
Did you notice that first?
Yeah.
And she's like, what is this going on? Clothes everywhere with a little bit of dust near them.
And you're right. If people haven't seen this movie, there are literally shoes, pants, shirt, like everything is laid out in the form of people with red dust all around, like littered on the street and the sidewalk.
She's just
and she doesn't seem to notice.
And again, like we said, the sky has this weird color to it, and she's like, "Oh, it's smoggy out today."
Yeah, she's upset that she gets locked out of the movie theater.
Yeah, she's not even registering. And again, now you're in LA, and it's quiet. You're outside. There's not a sound. The sky's a weird color. She's just like, "Oh shit! Now I locked myself out of the movie theater. I got to get back in." And she does see, now she sees the bloody wrench first. She goes to pick it up, kind of skeeved out. And then as she's sort of getting alert to like, oh, this could be dangerous back here, that's when that weird zombie, it's a terrible zombie.
It's the same homeless zombie that killed her boyfriend. Appears to be eating her boyfriend. He has like a chunk of something that he's eating. Yeah. So I guess... I'm very confused about the logistics of, I guess if you are inside and so you're not directly exposed to the comet, it turns you, we find this out later, it turns you to dust, but just a lot slower. So you mutate into a zombie monster.
Before you dust out.
For some reason. Yeah. Before you eventually die. Right. You want to eat and murder people for some reason before you then turn into dust. Yeah.
That's the transformation.
They don't spend a whole lot of time explaining why this happens.
No.
Don't
we just know we should fear it. We just know that it's not.
It looks scary as hell.
Yeah, I
don't want to become one of those.
No, especially not that kid. Yeah, no. Right. So I like how when the zombie thing comes up to her, she goes, "I don't know what your scene is." And then she goes into how she can totally defend herself.
Also, in the movie theater, the poster on the wall was a Valley Girl poster. Did you notice that behind Mel?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Aww. So, that's all.
Well, that was good. That was good to notice.
Do you want to do a Nick Cage or no? So she murders this zombie. Well, wait, she doesn't really, right? She does.
She beats him up. She doesn't murder him. But he goes after her, but she's got these self-defense skills, and she gets him, she beats him down, she pushes him, I think, in a pile of stuff.
Just a random pile of empty cardboard boxes
that are just there because it's behind. Yeah.
Yep.
She jumps on the motorcycle. I'm guessing it's her ex's, and she starts to drive off again into an empty Los Angeles, not a car.
She drives forever too. I mean,
we get a nice little, and it doesn't seem to hit her until she stops at a red light. Streets are empty. Light turns red. She stops.
That is quite the theme of this movie. A very weird thing. Traffic laws are important to this director.
This is true. Yeah, then later on.
He is not telling a horror story. He should just be one of those directors that does like little film strips for driver's ed class.
Yes.
And it should. I mean, he could have zombies in it. That's fine. But it's all about crosswalks.
It's all about staying safe, following what the light says to do.
Yeah.
So when she stops at the light, she sees the car next to her is empty with maybe a dusty person in it. Right.
Yep.
The remains of a dusty person. And that's when it clicks. At least that's when I think it clicks to her that like, oh no.
Right.
This is fun. This is funky.
But it is great because she's oblivious to this, which is fun. But her sister is equally oblivious and maybe even more so. But I think maybe she's in denial. I don't know.
Well, I think that the sister is in denial at first. Well, no, because the way so she rides the bike now home and she at first it looks like there's no one going to be there, right?
She opens the door, house is empty, yes. But then she sees her sister, hears her sister, something.
She slept in a shed? Is that how she survived?
She said she slept in a tool shed because she ran away. And I love how she's at home talking about how she ran away from home.
Yeah, she didn't go very far.
She's like, I left a note and everything. I'm like, but you're at home. You didn't.
Yeah, and now you're back.
Right.
And again, another one, had to come all the way home, didn't realize that you didn't pass a person on your way home.
This part of this sister makes it seem like it was written for a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And then they cast this like 17-year-old girl but didn't change any of the dialogue.
Oh yeah. So she is oblivious. She's on her way to her pep squad game.
Her pep squad. Is there a difference between cheerleaders and pep squad?
Pep squad, I
don't know.
Would think pep rally, but I would think a pep cheerleader.
But that's what cheerleaders
at the pep
do,
rally. Yeah.
Right?
Maybe it's for younger cheerleaders. I don't know.
Isn't that like the JV squad of cheerleaders?
I guess that they're called the pep squad. They're not quite cheering. They're just pepping everyone up. They're not cheering anyone on. I don't know.
She doesn't really do anything in this movie. Like, I expected during the action scenes for her to do, like, somersaults and flips. She doesn't. No. So maybe she isn't.
To show off her off her pep squad skills? Well, that's what... Well, I was going to say that's what good movies do. But I remember there was one of the Jurassic Parks. It could have been the third one or second. I don't know. Okay.
Jeff Goldblum's, maybe it's not even Jeff Goldblum's daughter comes, and she's like, I'm a great gymnast at the beginning of this movie. And I'm like, oh no, there's going to be a scene where she like has to flip over a pole to get away from a dinosaur. And it happens. Like at the end of this movie, it happens. So I was like, maybe she's going to do like weird cheerleader kick spins and stuff. But
none of that.
She never does, no.
Although she does get aggressive with some shoes.
I can't wait to get to that fight.
That's
all right.
Impressive. Okay. So yeah, when Reggie calls it to her attention that there's nothing. She has kind of a flip out where she's like, "There's not. Where's the kids? Where's the people? Where's the kids and the people?
It's Saturday. Where are the kids? And she picks up the neighbor's shoe and she's like, "Here's Bill," or whatever she is, and just dumps out a bunch of.
Oh yeah, because then there's that scandal too where they think the stepmom is sleeping with one of the neighbors. The dad's never around too. The dad is like in what they say in like Brazil or something.
I don't know. I assume he's dead.
No, they said he travels a lot.
No. I mean, he's probably dead from the comet.
Since the comet came.
But you're right. Yeah, it is the evil stepmother. Like they are stuck there with this woman who's their mom and having an affair with the neighbor, I guess.
But none of it matters anymore. They're all dead.
They're all dead. Yeah.
Yes. And now I do like when Reggie points it out and has this little like freak out, Samantha just closes the door, the front door. She's standing at the top of the stairs. She's listening. She takes it all in and she just closes the door.
Yep.
And
now goes to make herself some cereal.
Yeah. And now we see that she is starting to freak out. Now, when she's inside with her cereal, She's got the radio on. Interesting enough, the radio still works, right?
We hear the DJ talking about what day it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my thought was, well, why don't they just go to the radio station? And of course they do.
They do. That was your thought, and that's what they did.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. See, so that's where they go. And when they get there to this swanky neon lit radio station,
it is
right?
lit 100% by neon lights.
Yeah.
Even the bathroom is lit by neon.
It's more like a little bar or something. It's very
Yeah, you're right. Every room in this radio station looks like a bar.
Yeah. But it doesn't, but nobody running the station is there. We come to find out that it's automated. It's run on a recording.
I love the idea of a radio station bringing in somebody to be a DJ and recording him just doing every day of the year, because the DJ makes reference to like there's 14 more shopping days till Christmas.
Yeah. He's talking about Christmas.
Like, did they just bring a dude in over the summer? And they're like, listen, we just got to go every day. You got to say all the dates. We got to talk about sales that might be happening at local stores at this time.
You got to just promote it. That's what it is. Yeah.
Ridiculously impractical.
Yes,
I love it.
But again, because they're now at the radio station and the DJ's playing music, there's a constant soundtrack being played.
Right.
For just about everything that happens.
This movie is in love with synthy 80s rock music. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we're getting a lot of it. We're meeting now, so there's no DJ at the radio station, but there is a man there. There's a dude with a gun who freaks out at first because he thinks that they're zombies too. And
what I really like about this movie, and well, this may be overstating it, there are several times where characters will enter a room or a building or something, mm-hmm. and there's someone else there. And we as the viewer are aware of it before the characters. Like when they walk in the radio station, the camera kind of pans by and we see the Hector's hiding behind a wall with a gun.
Yeah, true.
And it's the same with when they go into the mall.
Yeah, we see that there's already this.
Yeah. I kind of like that because we know something bad's going to happen and we're just kind of waiting for it to happen.
To all unravel. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
But he's not a bad guy.
No, he's one of the only other survivors. He drove up from San Diego, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. Why did he drive up though? Because
he's a truck driver.
Oh, okay.
He's probably just making a delivery. And this guy, his name is Robert Beltran. Is the actor. And folks, I did not do this on purpose. Mm-hmm. My recommendation after our last movie was a movie called Eating Raoul. He is the titular Raoul from that movie.
And you just used the word titular. That's awesome.
The female scientist in this movie.
Yeah.
She is the wife in Eating Raoul who is pimped out to these. Yeah. Wow. They were in that movie together. So.
Like a 6 Degrees of Raoul or something.
6 Degrees of Raoul. Yeah, made like 2 years before this. So I'm wondering if they got each other the parts or something. Yeah. So. Huh. I didn't find anything out about that in the trivia. It didn't even make mention of that in the trivia, which I was like, why wouldn't you just mention that these two, who have a scene later together?
Well, this is Good Time, Great Oldies trivia. That's what that is.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. You should patent it. I don't know.
You should get on IMDb, log in. First, I have to make a username and then input that trivia.
Well, and he is fun. He's a likable guy.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of breaks it to them like, yeah, if you're not dead, then you're a zombie. There's zombies out there. Which, right? Isn't that what he kind of tells them?
Yeah, he kind of just holds the gun on them and says, back up, get over there. Then he asks Samantha, he's like, open your eyes, let me see your eyes. As though that's how you tell if someone's a zombie?
Well, because their eyes are freaky looking. They look like...
Plus, you look like a monster, and
but maybe she's starting to turn. Oh, like the kid doesn't look quite as monstery, but he got
he runs
funky eyes, and he runs like a monkey.
He runs like a werewolf. It's like he does run like a monkey. That's a better. He runs on all fours after him through that house. All right. So
that's one of my favorite. Okay. Anyway, I like, so she, she gets sick though. This is when Reggie gets like sick to her stomach because she realizes that her boyfriend's
dead. Everybody's dead.
Yeah. It really kind of hits her and upsets her.
The first third of this movie is just people realizing stuff over and over again.
Taking it in. I like what he says to her though, because he goes to meet her in the bathroom and I think he thinks she's just having like, or no, she's not answering the knocks on the door, whatever. He says to her, there's no time for an attitude problem. It's not. It's the end of the world. We got to work shit out. No time to have an attitude. And
I like how her shirt looks basically just like a double-breasted suit. Like, I know that was a style.
Yeah.
But she's
big. Got a very cool little style that she's her.
She's got puffy shoulders and it's like silk. It looks uncomfortable.
It also looks like she's...
It looks like she belongs in that radio station.
Yeah, this is true. In that swank.
And to be honest, when they were talking, and when they're talking about guns and everything like that, and she's like,
they start to bond then.
Yeah, the whole time, I didn't care. I was totally into what Samantha was doing because she's just playing DJ, and it was so much fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Then she takes over. She's cranking up volumes and putting her gum on the mic.
She takes an album for the soundtrack of Valley Girl and throws it over her shoulder. This director loved Valley Girl, I guess.
That's awesome. I didn't catch that either.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. When she does take over the radio, she calls out to all the Comet zombies, right? Because she's really kind of good. She falls right into it.
She's great.
And she calls them to call in, and somebody does call in. Now, this is a big kind of blunder, too.
And I know she was doing it as a joke, but when she started doing it, I was like, this is the greatest idea. Like, why would you not do this?
Yeah, exactly. This is how you're going to try to contact her.
Exactly. And I never thought of it. I never thought of, like,
if
there was an apocalypse, where would you go to find other people? Or how would you contact other people?
Right.
A radio station. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's all. I just wanted to put that out there.
Well, good. See?
I'm giving Samantha some credit.
But don't give her too much credit because the
really
call comes in. Apparently she takes it, but she can't remember anything that they said. She's very loose with the details. Takes
it and then immediately, I assume, just answers it and then runs to go tell them that somebody called because she comes back and she's like, oh, it's dead. They must have gone away. I'm like, why didn't you just keep them on the line and yell for your sister?
Who left Samantha the message is these group of scientists, I guess?
Yep.
That called. Now, this is the first time we're introduced to them, who, I don't know who from the group of scientists call her, but they call her basically to say, like, what do they say? Because she's so... They spotty with her information.
Exactly. I think they say to her, they give her a warning about don't go out at night.
Oh, yeah. They do give her some stuff that she remembers that she knows.
I guess these scientists know that these zombies from a disease that no one's ever seen before like to go out at night and hunt people. But they tell her that, and I think do they tell her to stay put? Like they're coming to get them or no?
I think that's their intent. I don't know if she's able to relay that.
Right.
But I know
that's
intent.
What they want to do, but I didn't know if they said anything to her. Okay.
If they did, who knows if she gave it back to them. But
she doesn't know what's going on. She's not that smart. All right.
No. I do so we get a view a little bit of these scientists in their underground layer somewhere, maybe in the Joshua. Like, where are they?
I don't know. They're in the desert. We see that it's the desert and that they're underground. That's all.
Yeah.
That's
I like their outfits. They have these weird, like, it's like a lab coat kind of thing, but then with these weird cinchy 80s belts. At first I thought that just the woman was wearing the belt, and then you see it's on the dudes too. It's like a cheap just belt of the 80s is what I'll call it.
And I like that it's a uniform. Like, they have to wear it.
Yeah. She seems to be the only woman there, right? Oh, no, she's not. That's right. No, I forgot. We meet the
other two women who are far more entertaining than she is.
With the laughing at? Yes. Yes.
So, we're introduced to these scientists, which really, like, I was not expecting this. I didn't remember any of this.
No, you didn't remember this kind of side plot?
Yeah, again, I probably saw it when I was in 6th or 7th grade, but I didn't remember these scientists. And I got to tell you, once the scientists got involved, I was so bummed out. I was like, oh no.
Oh,
we have to watch this now? Like, I was like, all right.
But we don't see a whole lot
right,
of them.
Right, but
that's why they're
that
kind of
something
mysterious.
That was going to become important, and it was going to become a big part of this film.
Right,
so.
right.
But the scientists are listening to the three of them argue because they don't hang up the phone.
Yes, that's right. So they're listening to all of them kind of muster on, and the scientists themselves are arguing too. Some of them,
right?
Because a lot of them want to go and retrieve those survivors, and then the woman especially is very much against. No, this is not part of our plan. Is not to bring people here. Next, we have the scene where Samantha's drinking and driving. Right.
This is what scared me when I was younger.
Oh.
I remember being very scared of this scene. First of all, because it comes out of nowhere. Even when I was watching this now, I was like, wait, they told her to stay put. Why is she in a car? Why is she drinking? Who's she talking to? Where are the other two? What's happening?
Yeah, all of a sudden we're treated to her kind of on a little joyride.
Right.
In a wedding dress with, I guess, a beer in hand. Living La Vida Loca.
That's
driving crazy through the streets of LA because she can, because it's the end of the world and no one's around and you can do these things. Mm-hmm. But then there's two cops on bikes that chase her down, and she's like, "What? Cop?
I love how she's like, cops? What? Where were you before?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true.
It's a legitimate question.
And what are you doing now? Pulling me over for speeding? Nobody else is. We're abiding by the laws. You're right. There's
traffic laws. For that. Traffic laws are fair. Do not.
Very
speed.
Important. Yeah. So then when the officers pull her over, they're really zombies trying to attack her. Is that what freaked you out as a kid? Was when the zombies attacked?
Yeah, they looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, she
is
attacked.
And they come at her. Yeah.
And then she wakes up. Oh.
Then it's just a dream.
Oh.
It's just a dream. Yeah.
Oh,
she was on the couch in the radio station the whole time.
I'm in the radio station. I'll take off all my clothes now. So she goes into the bathroom.
Oh, that's right. This is a weird. She goes into the bathroom and she's like taking a bath in the sink. I was like, is that the sink?
Yeah,
it's a weird looking bath.
I don't know why she takes all of her clothes off. I don't know what her goal, what she hopes to accomplish.
She's like running water in the sink in her underwear.
The tiniest sink. I don't know if she hopes to kind of try and get her body into like a bird bath almost, and she just splashes water onto herself. But she doesn't have time to do it because the zombie cop shows up behind her and picks her up. He has a knife too. He's not just a zombie. Again, these zombies need weapons. They need wrenches and they need knives. And he stabs her too.
Yeah, this time it gets a little.
But
again, no,
it's a dream within a dream. So, yeah.
Now she's scared. She wakes up screaming, and Hector runs in, and he's like, get a hold of her, make sure she's okay.
It's like, I'm busy. I'm doing sit-ups. Like,
he's in the other room just like working out, doing ab workout. Well, when the zombies come, you gotta have good abs, right?
Right.
And that's Reggie and him start bonding more. They're talking about family. He's a family guy. He has to go back to San Diego, even though there's zombies around and they were told to stay there and it's the end of the world. He needs to go and see that his mom is dead. He's like, I love my mommy, and
gotta go find out.
Gotta go take that 2-hour trek back down to San Diego.
Which I could see, you would probably do this.
Anybody he does say, he even says to her, like, you would do it too, right? If it was your,
Right. And the radio station seems to be very safe. They've been there all day. They've been there all night. Nobody's come
problems.
in.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and they're armed. They have weapons with them that we know they're ready.
Yes.
And this whole time, I like it. Samantha's just sitting on the couch staring off. She's just kind of, and she's scratching. This is when her weird scratching starts, right?
Because she gets rashes when she gets nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand that, but does that happen to people, I guess?
Anxiety, I guess.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, it comes up later.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. But I do like this. The next day, they're doing target practice. They have have guns. They have machine guns or whatever, and they're shooting at just
at a car.
Yeah.
They're blowing up a car, basically.
And this is, again, after they're done shooting, where they sit down, and Samantha's like, so did you make it with him last night?
And she's really mad. She's like,
he's
the last man on earth. I thought he was into me, and he could have made it with me, but and how does Reggie handle? Reggie's just like, no.
Right. Reggie's basically like, listen, the end of the world just happened. I don't think this is important stuff here. Right. Yes.
And
which also, I mean, if you're thinking about it in practical terms, if they're the last people on Earth and they're looking to repopulate Earth, he's going to have to make it with both of them.
Let's be honest.
So, Jamie, even after the apocalypse, it's a man's world. It's still a man's world.
Wait, I do like, though, when they point out, what's the point? I don't know what it is. When they're trying to figure out if he's gay or not.
I love that. Because, again, even if that's the case, he's got to make it with them. It doesn't matter.
Got to keep Earth going.
Yeah, that's when they're in the mall, which we'll see in a minute. But, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gay.
So we make it down to San Diego with Hector, right?
Yeah, we finally leave these two girls. These girls that we've been with through the entire movie, we finally leave them for a time because we follow Rodriguez on his adventure through
Hector is his name.
Oh, my God. I typed Rodriguez in my notes throughout. Even at the end of the movie, I went, oh, wait, his name's Hector. And I tried to go through and change it, but I forgot.
Maybe we could call him Hector Rodriguez.
Maybe that's his last name. All right. And he goes home.
The record player?
It is playing Feliz Navidad. Which,
it's just a single.
Fine.
It's just the one song
that might be a little offensive. But was it playing it all night? That's not how record players work. I
didn't think. Yeah,
it just doesn't just loop over and over. And even if there was like a little button that said repeat on there, when he gets in, it stops. It stops. I'm like, how long is this album?
It's just been playing. Well, because at first, then too, it makes you think, is somebody there? Is his mama there? And I was thinking, maybe she's there, eating a heart or something of another human to survive.
I thought he was going to find his mom as a zombie.
Yeah, but no,
that was going to happen.
She's gone. She's dust, just like the rest of them, right? He's picking up some belongings, like a trophy and a picture.
How he has a pillowcase,
like a sack,
to put his keepsakes in from home.
But then all of a sudden, there's some weird heavy breathing coming from the door. And he goes to the door and he was like, "Hey, I have a gun, and I don't come in here." And again, everybody like with the boyfriend when he gets killed. Why are we opening the door so willy-nilly when there could be danger outside?
Again, I think he wants to see if it's his mom as a zombie monster.
Well, it's not. I don't know if it's a nephew or a neighbor boy.
I don't know who this kid is or why he's in the house.
But it's really funny that this kid, so like we mentioned before, he runs at him like an ape, like a monkey, like in a jungle after him. The whole time this crazy album is being played behind them. So it's very comical. It's very slapstick as he's being chased around the house by this zombie
plus,
boy.
He keeps saying stupid, jokey lines like, "You're lucky I like kids," and there goes the neighborhood. What? There's a monkey zombie child trying to murder you.
He doesn't ever shoot him. He has a gun, but he won't kill him because he's a kid.
The only time I had to rewind this movie
and
watch it again is when the zombie kid busts open the door, a picture falls off the wall, and I went, "What was that?" And I went back. It's a painting of JFK and RFK.
Oh yeah,
in profile. I just thought that was a very bizarre detail to put in this movie.
So he parks his truck across the street, but when he runs out of the house, he just runs in the opposite direction down the street from the zombie kid. And so he escapes.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the scientist again, right?
Yep, we're back to the
one
scientist.
Lady scientist is smoking a cigarette.
She's having a hard time with everything.
Really upset. Yeah.
She seems miserable. She doesn't, because they say we're going to go get these girls at the radio station, and you're going to go.
Yeah, we're going to send you out.
You. I love. There's a helicopter going.
Oh,
so
when
we
they have
see the two of them arguing, but we don't hear anything they're saying.
Yes, yeah.
But we do see two survivors that they pick up.
The two children, that's
right. A little boy and a little girl who's wearing the puffiest pink robe. And she has like a stuffed rabbit with her.
Yeah, she's got a stuffed animal and she's in her PJs and they're not related. They're not brother and sister, right?
Yeah, so she seems to be Asian and the little boy isn't. So we know they're not related. No,
he's like blonde hair, blue-eyed, right. And they bring them back as survivors. Right. I don't know how they survived or where they survived. They must have been sleeping in who knows what, steel containers.
Just a tool shed. It's a fad sweeping across the nation. Kids running away to sleep in tool sheds.
So yeah, now the scientists have their hands full because they've got these new survivors, and now they're off to LA to go get these other survivors. Much to the dismay of I just keep calling her lady scientist. I don't know if she ever had to me.
I just wrote down female scientist every time she was. Yeah. She seems. I mean, later on we find out what's going on, but her demeanor and her motivation doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let's get to the good parts, because we go back to the sisters. They're having their little heart-to-heart on a cop car with the little lights going. I don't know why, but that's fun.
Yeah.
And they
because they can, because it's the end of the world, and they can.
And they decide that it's the end of the world. Mm-hmm. They're feeling down.
Yeah. Well, I like it. They're feeling down. Samantha's feeling down because it's the end of the world, and she's not ever really done it. I don't think she's made it yet. I get the impression.
Oh, is that what she says?
She talks about how there's a boy at school that she liked, and he was going to ask her out. And I think she's a little again, we're very shallow in this movie, and it's the end of the world, and our life, our family, the world is destroyed as we know it, humankind. But poor Samantha hasn't got to make it yet.
Right.
And that's
they didn't lose much with that family. Well,
this is true. We're not the strongest bonds here. And the sisters still exist. But then, so the solution is let's go to the mall. Right?
And we get a shopping montage in the middle of a zombie apocalypse movie.
Oh, my gosh. Who expected this? I mean, I know the zombies were scary, but this...
I just, again, and I brought it up before, why a cover song of Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Like, we've watched two movies. One was literally called Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and both had to use cover versions.
Cyndi Lauper is very protective of her.
That's insane. I understand this movie. It seems that they didn't have a lot of money.
Right. Well, and this scene seems, as fun as it seems, it definitely to me was out of place. I was like, this, it definitely takes it then from, not that it was, I mean, like you said, watching it as a kid, you're scared of the zombies and stuff, but it's not like a true horror, scary thrash movie.
Right.
But then when we have this fashion show in the middle of it, it really sort of takes it down another level into like, oh, this is just goofy.
But quickly, things do get serious again.
Oh, and this is where it then takes a really creepy turn.
Weird turn. Yeah.
So they're being watched on the cameras.
On the monitors, yes.
Yes. They're being tracked by these creepy guys in shades that we're not sure.
Dark sunglasses, yeah.
We're not sure who they are. We're not sure if they're survivors too, because they're wearing these sunglasses. If there's they are some sort of survivors. If they're,
I wish we never knew who they were, because when we find out who they are, I'm like,
I know, it's kind of like,
kidding
what?
Me?
Yeah, they come over the loudspeaker, and they let these girls know that they're being watched, and now the girls are kind of freak out, but they're kind of good because they have they make eye contact with each other. They hid their guns somewhere. Yep. Yeah, so they know and they're both sort of have this background of defense, so they kind of immediately go into not full on panic mode, more like, okay, let's figure out how we get out of this.
Right. Yeah. There's three. Well, maybe there's more. I don't know. But yeah, there's the one guy on the PA system
Yeah, he's the creepiest.
Seems to be their leader.
Yeah.
And then there's two guys who just kind of come down and just start shooting up the place.
Yeah, yeah.
And the one sister has a gun. The older sister.
Reggie has a gun.
Reggie, I mean, has a gun. So she can shoot back. But all Samantha can do is make inappropriate wisecracks and throw shoes at them at one point.
And the shoes are great. Like,
these
they
guys
really
seem
distract
genuinely
them.
bothered by this. They can't shoot because shoes are thrown at them.
And she's got great aim. She gets them every time. Well, and she's in the shoot department. So, she uses what she can, I guess.
She actually seems to do more than Reggie because she escapes, runs into another guy, kicks him in the balls.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But then she's immediately kidnapped.
She throws a TV,
captured.
Doesn't she?
Oh, she throws a TV. Yeah, she gets up on the second level and throws a TV at them.
Yeah, but then you're right. She is captured by the creepy guy. He even has a weird way that he talks and phrases things, like
to retaliate. Regina kidnaps one of his guys.
Oh, yeah.
And then
even
he shoots his own guy.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Can't do that. I don't care. Then the scene switches and they are chained to each other back to back on a forklift. This is where we find out that the bad guys used to be stock boys.
Stock boys gone. Now, are they turning into... Because they've got the creepy eyes. Isn't that why they're wearing shades?
Yes.
So they're stock boys turning into
zombies. But they're very protective of their mall. Like, they say things like, now we own this place. I'm like, who? What? There's nobody left. Like,
yeah, why do you care? And
are you going to sell this merchandise?
But it's like they're a group of stock boys that maybe as stock boys got shit on. And so now they're taking all of their, like... angst out on these two? I don't know.
But did they just like sleep in the back room? Like, how come they're
Did they sleep in their lockers? Like, how did they survive?
How did they survive this long? And why this group of stock? It's so silly.
It's very bizarre. And why are they so crazy? Like, is that part of it too? Or maybe it's...
Well, I mean, when you turn into a zombie, you want to eat people. So maybe this is the first step. Yeah, but they're crazy.
Oh, is the insanity part?
I don't know. We see those doctors kind of lose it later.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And they do.
You get to fill in your own blanks. That's the fun, everyone.
Yeah, that's part of the fun, right?
I liked how the guys were shooting at them with those sunglasses on. And my thought was, it's so dark in this mall, dudes. Take these sunglasses
off. Take the shades off, but they can't. Their eyes are turning. So they just can't, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the bad guy starts to play Russian roulette with them, which is terrifying.
That is a little bit scary. And you think one of them is going down. In the meantime, a helicopter has arrived and the scientists are there. And I love it how, again, they try to figure out, like, well, if you're a teenager, where would you go at the end of the world? And they figure the mall. Yep. And I love it. They get to the mall. Now, they're looking for 2 people. Mm-hmm. And the whole team spreads out across the whole mall. And they do manage to find them.
They find them. They kill all those stock guys in no time. It takes them no time at all to murder all these dudes. And I guess this is kind of like, are they scientists in the military? Because they got a lot of weaponry. They seem to have guys around who know how to use it.
Yeah, I feel like they are tied to some sort of governmental protective service.
For some reason, maybe you can explain this to me.
Oh, I don't know.
So
I'll try.
Reggie is loaded into the helicopter and taken away by most of them. Most of the scientists get in there with her and the army guys or whatever and take her to that base. For some reason... 2 of the scientists, the female scientists and some other chubby guy, stay back with Samantha.
They see Samantha itching.
Oh, is that what that's what it is?
They make a comment about how ridiculous it is that it's the 2 of these girls that are left. Like, of all the people to end the world, and we got these 2 are the ones that are picked to...
All right.
And then I think that Samantha's itching. So they catch that and they're like, uh-oh, she's infected. We shouldn't, because already, don't forget, the lady scientist doesn't want to bring anybody back.
She's miserable. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I guess in the meantime, they've told her about Hector. So they're going to stay for when Hector shows up, too.
And I love it. She's like, she thinks that her staying and waiting for Hector is sort of her chance to make it with Hector. Because if she's there waiting for him, then this gives her a chance over her sister, right, to I guess, make it with him. I don't know. She's got a one-track mind, this Samantha, that's I tell you. So the lady doctor and Samantha are together, and the lady doctor gives Samantha. They talk about the rash.
Like a mattress store at the mall.
Yeah, because she's laying down on a. Yeah, that's true. But the rash comes up, and Samantha even says, "Oh, I get this because I have anxiety. I'm nervous, and I get that with everything that's been going on, the end of the world and crap. I've got this rash." So the doctor gives her a shot. I'm doing air quotes. This shot, right?
Yeah.
For her rash, that supposedly kills her, right?
Right.
Supposedly.
It supposedly kills her because, and I was so confused at first because the whole time I'm thinking this woman doctor is a villain. She's a terrible person. She's awful. She wants to kill everybody.
Right.
And even when she takes her blood, she looks at it and goes, I knew it, or no surprises here, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then gives her a shot, and she falls asleep. The female scientist tells this other dude that she was infected and she had to kill her, or something like that, right? And then she just shoots this dude.
Well, he's trying to... It's just the two of them. He was meant to stay behind with her.
Right.
And... Isn't he trying to... He's sort of arguing with her, right?
I don't remember.
It is very much like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, wait, why is she... And I was even thinking, oh, she just murdered Samantha. Now she's murdering this guy.
She's just losing it.
Crazy. Like
I thought she was just losing it.
Right, yes.
But then something else crazy happens.
Hey, Santa Claus comes to L.A., everybody.
Hector returns in a Santa suit. And in a fancy red car.
I think he has flowers, too, right? Does he have flowers?
Yeah, he does. He does. He's excited to see the girls. But the lady scientist is the one that greets him.
She's got her dark sunglasses on, so you know something's up with her.
Something's up. Things are changing.
She is just blah, blah, blabbing on about some nonsense. Like, I could barely understand what she was
follow.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good, yeah. But she did, he asked her where everybody is, and she even says, I wrote a note or something. Because I guess she knows that she is incoherent. She's not going to make any sense. So she wrote down all the details of what was going on, and then injects herself with, I guess she killed herself, right?
Yeah. Okay. Because she doesn't. She knows what's about to happen to her, and she doesn't want to experience it.
Right.
And so...
But this is where she tells him that within 36 hours, all those scientists are going to be dead because they were all subjected to the comet because somebody didn't, like, turn off the air conditioner.
The air vents, yes, the dumbest thing. She's like... And I like the way she's like, all these scientists, and we forgot about the vents.
And I'm like, that wouldn't happen. Like, that would be the first thing you do when you go into a bunker is turn off the vents.
Especially if the air around you.
Or you would automate that. Like, you'd be like, here's how this bunker's designed. Once we go down in the elevator and the door's shut, the vents shut too automatically. Right. You shouldn't have to go find like a little dial or something and turn it.
But that's
what happened. So now we get now we're in this bunker basically for the duration of this movie.
Where Reggie is being questioned by one of the scientists / doctors, I guess, right?
Yeah, the female scientists seem to be like second in command, and this guy seems to be like the
head honcho.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. I like when he's questioning Reggie. She's kind of got funny answers to everything. Like, this is when she brings up I thought I was pregnant. Scariest 3 weeks of my life. She's very like, meh, and he is not he doesn't think she's funny. He wants one answer. He wants a serious answer. And she wants to know where she is. She's asking questions herself of what really is going on here.
Yeah, he's not giving her any information.
No.
He's like, have you had hepatitis? Blah, 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 which seemed like odd questions to be asking a survivor of an apocalypse.
Right.
But meanwhile, we flash back to 2 female scientists, the other 2 ladies.
These 2 goofballs.
So they really just dump a ton of exposition on us by telling us that they are taking blood from survivors in order to try and make a vaccine that they could then inject themselves with so that they could survive.
So that they're not infected with this.
In the process, they're basically killing these survivors. Like they're
They're keeping them alive enough to take their blood.
Right.
And they're about to do this to the children, the survivors.
I love them. I love how they talk about, I love working with children. I'm like, how many children have they done this to? This
they're
terrible.
Very, very creepy. Apparently, when Hector comes back from San Diego, he's just got costume after costume. He comes first in the Santa suit, and now...
Why does he feel that he has to disguise himself as a freaking cowboy?
Now he's a cowboy, and he's gonna, what does he say? Like turkey crap through a tin horn? He's gonna get these guys.
He literally drives up to this secret laboratory because I guess the other scientists left him directions.
Oh yeah, it was really in that note, yeah.
And he tricks the guard because he says, "You ever see a woman or something?" Which is a weird question.
Oh yeah. Have you seen a lady? Right. Oh, I forgot about this. And who's in his trunk? Bum bum bum. She's not dead.
Samantha. She's playing possum. She was shot up with whatever.
Like some kind of sleep serum. That was in the note too.
Like truth
serum.
serum.
Yeah, they name it something. Yeah.
Sodium pentothal. Is that it?
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
That's right. I watched True Lies. All right. So yeah, and then she grabs the guard and he hits him with the trunk and they knock this guy out and then infiltrate this underground bunker. And he's dressed as a cowboy. Jesus God. Oh, but let's talk a little more about these ladies and who want to murder these children.
They're going to give him laughing gas first, right?
Yep. And the kids are afraid they're going to get shots. But nope. You're just going to go to sleep. You're going to wake up at the North Pole with Santa Claus. And you're going to live there for the rest of your life. And this girl is so happy about this.
Well, wait. I like it how... So the whole time these children, last survivors, they've been taken all through all this. Now, as they're trying to put the sleep mask on the children, the girl is excited, God love her, to see Santa. She, all of a sudden, she's like, wait a minute, our mom told us, or we're not ever supposed to take things from strangers. Well, wait, what? You're here with all these adult strangers.
You got in a helicopter with these strangers.
Yeah, exactly. But rightfully so. She's going to put a mask on her face.
But it is great how she's about to murder this little girl and she tells her a story. And then just the little boy pops his head and frames it and goes, hey, Santa Claus isn't real.
That's right.
Oh, man. Right. So,
but then Reggie's there. Reggie saves them.
Yeah,
right?
Reggie escapes. Mm-hmm. And she cuts the power and stuff, and she
hits him with a computer another time. That
I also loved the part where they're escaping with these 2 little kids, and when she walked in on them and the scientist, she had a gun, and she's like, "Put your hands up," and all of them put their hands up, and as they're escaping, the kids still have their hands up.
Oh yeah,
and she goes, "Put down your hands. Don't be stupid." This is so great how she's insulting these poor little kids who are about to be murdered.
Well, now they get in the car and...
they escape, yeah.
But now Hector has one more little like surprise, or not surprise, I guess.
Oh yeah, Hector stops the car to taunt the bad zombies.
To taunt the bad guys to come get them,
right.
But he's also attached dynamite to one of their cars.
Somehow.
So, and we watch this happen. In the meantime, the kid at one point almost gets attacked again. One of the scientists is becoming a zombie, and they go after the children, and so that gets a little crazy, and...
Hector has to shoot that guy.
Yes.
The zombies are piled in a car and it explodes. and that's the end of the conflict.
Yeah.
But not the last scenes of this movie.
There's a storm. The rain comes.
Oh yeah.
And after the rain, it's just like all is better again. It's all been washed away.
The sky is clear. The sun is out. I love watching all of the dust from all the dead people just washed down the drain.
It's just like it is literally like when rain happens in LA. It just feels like it's cleaning the streets of LA again. So that is So we're renewed, we're refreshed, and we're ready to start our weird family,
very weird family
adventures. So Reggie and Hector are like playing mom and dad with these kids.
And they're all dressed up. Like they're all dressed up in their Sunday best.
Like Easter Sunday clothes. Yeah, exactly. And Reggie's taking pictures and making them, oh, come on, smile. And again, keep in mind, she's a teenager still. She's like supposedly 18
years old. I don't know how old Hector is. These kids, their families are dead. Like...
And they're not bothered by it.
These children do not seem to have ever come to the realization that the world as they know it is over.
Now we see Samantha, who is still sort of single and ready to mingle.
Yep.
She's about to cross the street to come meet them in their photo shoot. And this is another one of those, like you were saying,
you can't cross when that orange hand is up. Nope.
And she doesn't care. She's like, guys, it's the end of the world. I'm going to go ahead and cross this street if the hand is up. She almost gets hit by a car.
A car that nobody sees coming.
Nobody sees.
A street that is abandoned and totally empty. Nobody hears this car.
And again, I thought that we met everybody that survived and everybody that didn't was a zombie mess. But no, this guy, Danny Mason
there were
Keener,
teenagers sleeping in tool sheds across the country.
They're just all over the place. Or maybe he was in another steel movie theater or whatever, lead-based, whatever. He cruises by, he makes a little small talk, flirts a little, and now everybody's going to have a happy ending. Not only does Reggie have the super family with Hector that she could have ever dreamed of, but... Samantha runs off with DMK.
DMK.
Yes, that's what the license plate says.
From the video game that Reggie was
tying
playing.
It all together, wrapping it all up.
What a weird, satisfying, hopeful ending to a strange movie. Because it does. The camera just pans back to dead streets and nothing. But this family, and again, like you said, their Easter Sunday attire wandering down an empty street.
Just goofy.
It is so goofy. We didn't mention one of my favorite scenes because I didn't understand it. Is when Hector is throwing the guns in the garbage can.
Oh, yeah. They're done with them.
And then the little girl's like, hey, if you're all done with those, can I have one?
And she's like, where does she get it
and
from?
And Regina shakes her head. She's like, where does she get that from? And
she's
I'm like,
not biologically yours. Where does she get it from?
I don't know. Her parents could have been serial killers.
Yeah.
You don't know.
We don't know this for sure.
Oh, my God. All right. So that is the end of this movie.
Yes.
And... Jamie, having not seen this movie before, I am very, very interested in what your opinions of it are. Would you recommend that people see it? Was it a good time? What do you think?
This was another one. When we go into these Halloween horror movies, I get a little fearful because this is not my favorite genre.
Right.
And I'm thinking of this like gore and blood. So it wasn't that. It wasn't that kind of a movie at all. And I was kind of pleasantly surprised by that. And so, although I found it extremely cheesy and a lot of the stuff totally hokey, And I kept thinking, like, all these things are unbelievable that they would happen, but as they should be, based off the style of movie that it is. I had fun with it still. Right. Like, I really did. I enjoyed, again, I liked that there was a female lead, as goofy as she was sometimes. She was also strong in a lot of ways. I liked that it was this end of the world theme, but they were very, like, jovial about it. Like, it wasn't really, like...
It wasn't dire and sad and just... And that's what happens. Like, if you don't really care about the people that are dead, you can have fun with it.
Right, like, you can. So it was more lighthearted, I guess, more than anything. So it was sort of enjoyable.
I've seen this twice in my life, and I don't know. I'm sure I'll watch it again at some point. When my kids get older, whatever, I'll show this to them because it was fun. You're right. Yeah. Like, it was an easy watch. Like, that's what it was. It never felt as though it dragged. It was just, for as much as I was like, oh no, these scientists, then later on I'm like, this is so weird. Like, this is so weird. Nothing about this made any sense. The narrative was as non-linear as it could possibly be. And again, for a movie that was made for practically nothing and had maybe 10 people in it, it was interesting and it was unique. Yeah. And for as bad as the music is, I'm glad that music was there because it had this horrible 80s soundtrack.
Yeah, the music is as much as it was sort of distracting because of the constant terribleness, I guess. It also made it went along with the kind of hokey, like, fun.
And it was always, and this is what I love about music in movies, and I'm sure I mentioned this on the podcast before. Most of the times you heard music, it was because someone had a radio on, somebody was listening to a record. Like, that's how all the music... So as people got further away, like when they were in the house and her sister was listening on the radio, when they went outside, the music was quiet. When they went back in, it was louder. Like, I really enjoyed that. Yeah. So I would recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything that this movie made you feel that you needed to recommend? Another similar movie?
It was weird. I was having a struggle a little bit with one of the reasons what to recommend is because a lot of times a movie will hit me while I'm watching the movie. Like, oh, it reminds me of this or this, and this didn't remind me of anything that I had ever experienced. At least not, like, I have to really sit and think about it. Even just now, I'm like, was there anything else? So honestly, one of the first things I'll think about, and this will tell you how much I really did love this movie that we watched, Sleepaway Camp would be a recommendation. Not because I'm totally obsessed with that movie.
I just want to talk to our audience for a second.
Because
I totally forgot that somebody made that wiki page for us. So if you type in Good Times, Great Movies Wiki, and I just went there like a few weeks ago because I kind of forgot about it. But whoever it is keeping up with everything. And I totally forgot, and it got edited out of last episode. But you recommended a movie based on a trailer that you saw.
Yeah, I did.
You also, this person puts in her recommendations. There are times where it'll say, like, Jamie's recommendations, none. And then there are also times where, at one point, you recommended watching the same movie that we just talked about again. And I forget what movie it was, your recommendation was to have a college theater group act out the movie. So just the fact that you're recommending another movie that we've already seen and discussed is, like, you're batting 1,000 for this.
I kind of run around in circles with these recommendations.
I do feel bad that I had to cut your recommendation of a movie that you watched the trailer of. So unlike you,
what are yours? Yeah.
Unlike you, and I'm not going to say what they were because I'll save them. This reminded me of a lot of movies.
Oh.
Now, it's because you don't watch horror movies, but in doing research about this movie and a little bit of background, I found out, and I thought this was interesting, that Joss Whedon was influenced by this movie for his character Buffy the Vampire Slayer. with the cheerleader outfit and kind of tough girl thing.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is not the TV show. My recommendation is the movie. Because
the movie.
And I have talked about, I think in Teen Wolf, I talked about how much I love the movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my recommendation, so now it is.
Now's your time to recommend it.
And I realized this because I read this before the movie started. So I watched the movie knowing this. And at the beginning, when she goes to get her sister, and she has her cheerleader outfit on, before they leave, she picks up the dog's leash and collar and goes,
"Oh yeah,"
and goes, "Buffy." So their dog's name was Buffy, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
So that is my recommendation.
And all these tie-ins.
Pee-wee's in it. He's fantastic.
True.
Luke Perry does his best. Luke Perry.
I mean, Luke does his Luke.
It's as good as he gets. So it's a good movie. If you like the TV show, you'll probably hate the movie. But I loved it. So, folks, in 2 weeks, we wrap up. Oh, Jamie, can you believe it's the end of October?
It happens so quickly. This time of year, just like that it goes.
And, you know, and I have to say, I already chose the movie out of the proverbial hat that we're going to be doing. And some people really stuffed the ballot. Everybody wants us to do Monster Squad. For some reason, everybody wants us to do that.
Yeah, that's a strong contender.
That was a huge entry. There must have been 6 or 7 little slips of paper for that in there, and I did not pick it. So at some point... You
didn't?
No.
People are going to be so upset.
I know. At some point, we just have to give these people Monster Squad. We're just going to have to do it. But we're not now. Nope. I picked a little movie... that if you thought this movie was campy and strange, I think our listeners know what types of movies they want us to talk about. Because we're going to do a movie called Chopping Mall.
Chopping
Mall? Yes. You can say it like that. Chopping Mall. It's a movie about a group of teenagers that decide to party it up in a mall.
Okay.
And the mall security... are these new robots.
Lumberjacks?
No, they're robots. Much like the bad robot in RoboCop. And the robots kind of go crazy and start murdering everybody.
Is there anybody in it that we would know?
You know what? I actually looked, and Samantha's in it.
Oh, no, Samantha from this movie?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, she's one of the teenagers. So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so that will be in 2 weeks.
All right, Chopping Mall.
Chopping, or Chopping Mall.
Oh, the Chopping Mall.
So that's it, everybody. That will be our last movie of October. Our last
of the Halloween season,
So we hope that you've enjoyed this one. And tune in 2 weeks when we'll talk about Chopping Mall. So we'll see you then.
Oh, and don't forget to visit our website.
We don't have a website. Oh, remember, the offer still stands. If you want to make us a website, we will.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know. Come to your house and shake your hand. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I forget what it is. But if you build us a website, we'll do great things.
If you build it, we will come to your house.
Sure, why? To your house.
Thank you for making it.
If you're close to
if you live in PA or Nashville, I guess.
Wait a minute. I have to travel the entire state, and you're just like, I don't know, you're in my city. I'll go there.
Sure, yeah.
All right. That's it. Yes, go to our non-existent website. It's called goodtimesgreatmovies.com, I guess.
That's what it would be. Oh, okay. So visit us on Twitter and Facebook.
Yes. Thank you for saying
GTGM.
That. That's right. Very good.
Yep.
All right, everybody. We'll see you then.
All right. Thank you very much, and have a time. Have the time of your life, you know? Have the last night of a Comet in your life. Like enjoy your life. That's what it seemed that they were doing in this movie. All right.
I never knew it'd be so easy. Been on the case for quite a while. She drove me home. We skipped the party. Who guessed that she'd be mine? Oh, it was unbelievable. Oh, if I only knew. How did it be so unbelievable? It's beyond me.
The first Earthlings to see the effects will be in Newfoundland or Newfoundland.